Just based off my experience, I would not recommend it because I actually had a very bad experience with that.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Elle and welcome to our planet. In the Philippines, foreigners are welcomed with open arms. In fact, it is widely known that we even treat them like family. It is undeniably true that it is not a taboo for a Filipino to date a foreigner in our country. But would the same be true for them? Today we're asking our foreign friends one question, and we made sure that they answered it honestly. Would you date a Filipino? Why or why not?
Hi guys, my name is Elgi and I'm half Greek and half Ukrainian and I live in Korea. I live together with my boyfriend and we have an international couple channel as well as Instagram, so please check us out there. My answer, honestly, 100% yes. Of course. I would definitely date a Filipino. And why? Why not? I really don't care about the ethnicity or the race of my partner. As long as we connect mentally, it really doesn't matter where they come from or their background. And you know, I've not met a lot of Filipinos in my life, but the ones that I did meet are actually really attractive, both the women and the men. So I would definitely date both of them as long as we connect spiritually. It would be so fun to, you know, teach each other the languages we know and the cultures we know and share the food. The people I've met, they're all so open-minded, and even if we were bound to stumble on some international relationship problems such as like cultural differences and so on, I think they would have been really open-minded to, like, you know, talk about it and not just give up and just, you know, not try. So yes, definitely I would if I was single.
I think that's a really funny question because a simple answer would be yes, why not? I say that it was simple because I feel like when you like someone, you know, when you're attracted to someone, the question of that person's race or ethnicity shouldn't even come into play. It's more of like, oh, do I like this person or not? If yes, then, you know, just go for it. And yeah, I think that's the simplest thing I can say.
Hi, my name is Madeleine Masi. I'm originally from Ghana, but I live here in the UK. And maybe I'm easy to please and hard to disappoint, but yes, I understand dating within your race or your ethnicity is like easier in general. Like you have shared experiences, shared culture, shared understanding of who you guys are in that aspect. But as long as you love me, I love you, we love God, our families are good, like it's just the basics, it should be good. And I guess if it was me and another person from the Philippines, it is an interracial relationship, and understanding like the fundamentals of our differences and embracing our differences and all of that stuff should go smoothly.
What is up everybody, it is me, Kato Kindness. I am so excited to be back for today's question. I think the question should be, why would you not date somebody from the Philippines? Well, when I think of Filipinos, I think of how rich the culture is, I think of how beautiful the country is, how gorgeous everybody is, and of course, the food. How do you make it so good? In short, yes, absolutely, I would date somebody from the Philippines, wife me up real quick, teach me how to cook, please and thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Aisha and I'm from India. I live in the UAE. It's been a while since I've recorded myself talking to myself. You know what? Looking at the way things are right now, I just might. There are no good, decent Indian men left in the city. Soon, I might not have a choice. You know, I've never thought about it, but it could be fun. I do have Filipino colleagues and I have Filipino friends. They are so sarcastic and witty and always have a counter remark on the ready. So nice. It's like sunlight, individual rays of sunlight. And if I was going to date a Filipino, reason number one that I would be to find out the secret to their super shiny hair. How is it possible that every single Filipino has super sleek, shiny, well-kept, well-maintained hair? There has to be some kind of cultural secret, right? Another reason I would probably date a Filipino is because of their vibe. Filipinos have such a positive energy about them. It's infectious. They're always ready to have a good time, and I think that is really nice.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm Shota, I'm from Japan. The question is, if I was single, would I date a Filipino? Yeah, of course, 100%. In fact, like, I had dated Filipino before, and she was so kind, she was so energetic all the time. She was giving me some positive energy and stuff. I only had a good experience with people from the Philippines in general. So like, I have no problem like dating Filipinos or whatever.
I'm Hyunyo Kim, Augustine, and I'm from Korea. And I don't know if there's someone who's still remembering me here. I was just discharged from Korean military 3 months ago. And now, finally, I'm back to El's planet right now. My personal thoughts, Filipinos are nice, positive, and affectionate. So if I have crush on someone and want to know more about her, I want to go on a date. Moreover, if I find someone who got a match made in heaven with me, I should never be missed that chance, right? But it would never be easy in relationship. If you have different nationality, there will be many barriers we have to overcome, not only in language but also in culture and mindset of the country. However, if we can overcome those things, and if I meet someone who's really suits on me, I think I can have a happy relationship.
Hello everyone, my name is Angela. Start one more time. Hello everyone, my name is Angela and I'm from Canada, Toronto. Whoa! Would you date a Filipino? And the answer is yes, I would. First of all, I think like not wanting to date someone just because of their race, not my thing. I understand that like maybe you want to date someone with like the same like culture as you, or like, you know, so there's like less of the culture difference. But like personally, I don't mind. There's a stereotype actually. I don't know if it applies to like everywhere else, but in North America, Filipinos have the stereotype of like you're either good at singing or dancing or both, and I am personally attracted to that, especially dancers. In high school, I had a whole Filipino phase amongst my many phases because the dancers, pretty much every Asian dancer I see were Filipino, like in my area at least.
Hi everyone, my name is Ariel, E-R-I-E-L. I think the answer is yes, because I would date honestly anyone. Like I really don't care about race. I'm from Singapore, so Singaporean culture is Southeast Asian culture, you know, and Philippines is also in Southeast Asia, so I think we'd have a lot of similarities. Like we probably have a similar taste in food, social life and social gatherings and stuff, and I know a lot of them are really attractive. So there's your answer.
My name is Rebecca Naliaka and I am a Kenyan African living here in the Philippines. I also have a YouTube channel underneath the same exact name, Rebecca Naliaka. Would I date a Filipino man? Yes. I really admire Filipino men because they're so nice and they're so kind. They really respect the woman compared to the men back in Kenya. I'm not saying that the men back in Kenya are bad. I'm just saying if I compare the characteristics of the Filipino men and the men that I have experienced in Kenya, here in the Philippines, I love how women have a voice in relationships. Because back in my country, in Kenya, what usually happens is the man is the one that usually has the say, takes control, is the one that makes all the decisions. But here in the Philippines, women have a lot of authority in the relationship. Their opinion matters. Another thing I love about Filipino men is how they are very family oriented and they... Oh my gosh! What the freak? Oh my gosh! Yeah, so I was saying that Filipinos are very family oriented compared to the men back in my country. If you date a Filipino man, you don't just date him. You also become introduced to his parents and his brothers and sisters and uncles and aunties. So it's like you form a whole new family, and that's really fun. The last thing that I can think of, I wouldn't say that all of them are romantic, but a lot of them are romantic. They love giving little gifts, celebrating special moments like monthsaries and Valentine's Day. So long story short, yes, I would date a Filipino.
Oh, is that a question? Yes, of course I would date a Filipino guy. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter about the race, whether he's Korean or Filipino, it doesn't matter. But based on my experience living in the Philippines for such a long time, I noticed that Filipino guys are very romantic and they take importance of courting. When it comes to courting with Filipino guys, I feel like I'm a high school student. Like it's a high school romance thing. It's a high school kind of love, which I don't really usually feel with Korean guys. And Filipino guys are hilarious. Their sense of humor is like, yeah, I tend to laugh more with them. And we have like the same culture because I was raised in the Philippines, like I said a while ago. We talk about the same topics, our language is the same, and yeah, it's more fun with them. Of course, I would date a Filipino guy.
Honestly, I thought that at least 1 or 2 people would say no, but thankfully everyone here is pretty open-minded. But just to shake things up a bit, I decided to ask a couple of Filipinos who have been or are currently in a relationship with a foreigner this. After being in a relationship with a foreigner, would you or would you not recommend it to your fellow Filipinos who have never been in an interracial relationship? Why or why not?
What up, y'all? It's your boy Gav, aka Gino. I live here in Copenhagen, Denmark, and I was also born and raised here, so that makes me Filipino Danish. So the nationalities that I've dated, I had one Danish, and my second one was Filipina, and my third one was actually also a Filipina. Just like off the bat, go for it! But I'm also like on the other side of the things actually. Just based off my experience, I would not recommend it because I actually had a very bad experience with that. So my first girlfriend was Danish. There was just like a lot of like misunderstandings, miscommunications, not really like, you know, that much of an open-mindedness in the relationship as well. I was also very young, so like the lack of communication also definitely came from my side of things. But like for me, there was like a huge culture clash, the lack of respect of like my elders, my family, and obviously like, you know, these are like things that you can talk about, and whenever we did talk about it, it was always be like, but why? I don't get it. Not that I'm bashing relationship or anything, but there was just like, you know, a lot of struggles, like literally there were struggles. So just to like avoid that, it would just be nice to like date someone that had the same mentality, the same values, and also like, you know, kind of like understands you, so there's like a flow in it, you know what I'm saying?
I'm Clyde, I'm 24 years old from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I've dated Canadian women. I've had relationships with Latinas, Caucasians from Europe, but now I'm in a stable and happy relationship with a Filipina. It's my very first relationship with a Filipina. Her and I kind of spent some time in Abu Dhabi where I grew up. Unfortunately, we never met when we were kids, and we ended up meeting here in Canada, which is very fortunate, and I'm very happy that it happened. The answer I have to those questions, it depends on the person, but do you expect and keep an eye out for values and belief differences? You're gonna make a lot more compromises depending on how they were raised. But based on my experience, even though I spent half of my life now here in Canada, I still have my values and beliefs that I grew up with as a Filipino, that my parents instilled in me. And those good things are something I'm gonna keep for the rest of my life. And my past relationships, I had to make compromises because I do understand their side. It was easier for me to compromise just because I spent half of my life here and I had an understanding of like why they think that way, why they do certain things. That helped me kind of get along with my exes and try to make the relationships work. And would I recommend it? I wouldn't say I'm against it. I wouldn't say I'm for it, but it wouldn't hurt to try and see if it's something that would work for you. It doesn't really matter what race or nationality they came from, as long as the person is willing to love you and willing to give up things for you and make you feel special, then choose that person. You could have the biggest culture gap or like values and beliefs, but you guys still feel like a glove and like you guys are able to make it work. Right now, I'm in a very good spot because I am confident in my partner. I am very happy. Like I said, it all depends, and it wouldn't hurt to try.
Hi everyone, so my name is Faith. I live in Vancouver, Canada, and I'm also a Filipina who is married to a Chinese. I would say give it a shot, but just giving you my very honest opinion, be honest with yourself because it actually isn't for everyone. In every relationship, there are pros and cons. I guess like when you are dating someone in your own culture, there are things na you already know. Food, family relationships, a lot of the times culture. And when you are in an interracial relationship, in the beginning it's kind of fun. Things are so new, it's a new perspective. You want to try new food, new places. You know, after you travel, you come home and what do you want? You want comfort. So for a lot of us, comfort is speaking your own language in your home, your own native tongue, eating your own local foods. I'll be honest, in my relationship when my husband and I were still dating, even until now, our biggest struggles mainly revolved around food, surprisingly, because we're both foodies. You know, I love food, not just to eat, but like I love to experiment, I love to cook, I actually love to bake, and then I also, you know, love trying out new stuff, you know, new foods. But again, when I'm home, I want home-cooked meals. You know, I want that tinola, I want that bulalo, right? Or I want just like simple daing kanin, right? Rice. But then with him, he also expects the same thing. You know, in the beginning, I thought, okay, he's Chinese, it's gonna be simple, like what, dumplings, noodles. But then actually, their cuisine is just so different. It's so good. I actually truly enjoy, but a lot of them, it's just not my palate. Hi guys, sorry medyo nag-cut off. I actually have a daughter with my husband and she's just having a hard time sleeping, so she's just making half of an appearance. But yeah, so as I was saying, you just can't assume certain parts of their culture. I gotta be honest, sometimes it's just gonna clash and you just have to deal with it. Communication is key, but obviously again, it's so fun. Like, I'm married to a Chinese and he is just the best person for me. Would I recommend it? Give it a shot. Just be honest, you know your boundaries, know your limits. It's okay to be like, you know what, this isn't really working for me. Give it a shot, and you know, I wish you the best. And this is my little one saying good night. Good night.